the next one is when Ashley was shot, Ashley Moser was shot, she fell on top of Veronica, and she was asking Kaylin if Veronica was breathing. And Kaylin said, I don't know. And there is an objection here on the rules 401, 403, and 802. And Mr. Brockler acknowledged yesterday that he's not wedded to Kaylin's statement, but it's Ashley Moser's statement that he's most interested in. I think what's relevant here is that when Ashley Moser was shot and fell on top of Veronica, that she couldn't tell whether Veronica was breathing. I think that's fair, and she can testify to that. I don't think she needs to testify about what she said or what Kaylin Bailey said. I think she can simply say, I was trying to figure out if Veronica was breathing, and I couldn't tell. So the hearsay objection as to both of those statements is sustained. I'm not convinced that the present sense impression with respect to Ashley Moser's statement applies, and I'm not convinced that the excited utterance exception with respect to Kaylin Bailey applies. And frankly, even if they apply, they still have to be relevant, and even if they're relevant, I find that under Rule 403, the probative value, which is marginal, would be substantially outweighed by the danger for unfair prejudice. So I will keep the statements out, but she can talk about what she was thinking, what was going through her mind right after she was shot and she fell on top of her daughter. I think that's fair, and I think that's appropriate. Next is Kaylin Bailey asking Ashley Moser if Ashley Moser could move off of Veronica, and Ashley saying that she couldn't. There's an objection under Rules 401, 403, and 802. Let me address the Rule 802 objection first. I don't know, again, why the statement is relevant. It seems to me that what's relevant here is that to the extent that the statement is relevant, it's only relevant because of the effect on the listener, which in this case would be Ashley Moser. So if you're asking it in terms of, why she tried to move off of Veronica, and then she realized at that point that she couldn't move off of her, then that's fine, because that's not hearsay, and I think that's part of what happened, and I think it's relevant, and that's admissible. So if it's the kind of thing where the reason why she tried to move off of Veronica is because Kaylin said, can you move off of Veronica, then that question by Kaylin Bailey is not being admitted for the truth of the matter asserted. Is being admitted to show the effect on the listener, the effect on Ashley Moser. So it's not hearsay, so the Rule 802 objection is overruled. And it is relevant because it's part of what took place, so the Rule 401 objection is overruled. And I find that the probative value of the evidence is not substantially outweighed by the danger of unfair prejudice. This is part of what took place immediately after the shooting, apparently, and I think that people are entitled to present that. So, again, if that's the way the people are intending to present it, Mr. Brockler, then I'm finding that it's not hearsay. But it has to be strictly to that one question and tied to why she tried to move off of Veronica. Next is when Ashley was being carried out of the theater, her pants fell down. Mr. Brockler argued that this is part of what happened. And to the extent that that's part of what happened, I agree that it has some probative value. So it is admissible under Rule 401. So the Rule 401 objection is overruled. The question is under Rule 403, is there any risk for unfair prejudice? Given what else this jury is going to hear from Ashley Moser, I don't see how this is prejudicial. I don't see how this is prejudicial, much less unduly prejudicial. And so under Rule 403, I find that the risk for unfair prejudice does not substantially outweigh the probative value of the evidence. But I want to make sure that people are careful not to belabor this. In other words, I don't want them to make this a point of emphasis where she's talking about how embarrassed she felt and how and go on from there. And it's the kind of thing where as she was being carried out, this happened, and she's talking about it, and then you move on.